Do you have a dream car? Mine is the Lucid Air. Are you intrigued by electric vehicles? The Lucid Air EV has been called the best driving car in the world. And the Lucid Air Sapphire is certifiably the fastest production car in the world. Listen to Lucid Driver Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts or at luciddriver.buzzsprout.com.
Welcome to the Joy of Cruising podcast with your host, award-winning author Paul C. Thornton, a weekly conversation with the amazing cruisers featured in the Joy of Cruising books, comprised of The Joy of Cruising, Cruising Interrupted, new release, The Joy of Cruising Again, as well as other fun, informative global cruise personalities. It's the next best thing to cruising, hearing about cruising from the unique and diverse perspectives of Paul's amazing guests. If you hear about a cruise that interests you, book it at www.thejoyofacation.com or enter to win a free cruise for two. Again, www.thejoyofacation.com. We really appreciate your feedback, so leave us a text. Paul can't reply, but he may read your text on the air.
Hello, passionate cruisers. This is Paul. This week on the Joy of Cruising podcast, I am delighted to welcome back Kathy Liu, Regional Director, Trade Sales, the Ritz Carlton Yacht Collection, RCYC. When Kathy was here over a year ago, she represented a different luxury brand. I am excited to hear from Kathy now about the Ritz Carlton Yacht Collection. I perused their website, linked below, and RCYC looks marvelous. Kathy Liu previously worked for, respectively, Explora Journeys and Crystal Cruises. From her beginnings as an administrative assistant through promotions into a myriad of roles in strategic partnerships, international sales and marketing, and ultimately as regional director, Kathy has formed unique global perspectives and valuable insights into all facets of luxury tourism today. A playful and curious lover of travel who began cruising from a young age, Kathy has spent much of her life exploring the world. Her favorite destinations include Greece, Hungary, and Vietnam, and her future travels wish list includes iconic spots like South Africa, New Zealand, and especially Iceland. A broken ankle occurring hours after stepping onto the land of fire and ice cut her holiday there short in 2021. Whether at home in Atlanta, in a fine restaurant, at a taco truck, or aboard a luxury ship, Kathy enjoys the foodie life and relishes opportunities to entertain. She likes contemporary art and Scotch whisky that is old enough to order its own drink. She's a friend to all canines, and she loves people, particularly her supportive family in Los Angeles. Kathy holds a bachelor's degree from California State University in Geographical Information Systems with a minor in Business Entrepreneurship. Welcome back, Kathy, to the Joy of Cruising podcast.
Well, thank you for having me back on your podcast. It's been a minute, and I'm excited to be here with you.
Yeah, I was looking. Can you believe it's been almost 2 years?
Oh, unreal how time flies.
That just doesn't seem that long.
Not at all.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Excited to be here. Excited to talk about the Ritz Carlton Yacht Collection, share my experiences. I was actually just on board last week, and I got off just a few days ago, so I can really talk about my experience there.
Then we're going to want to hear all about that. But before we discuss Ritz Carlton Yacht Collection and the path that led you there, remind our listeners about yourself, where you're from, where you live, anything else you would like to share.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I actually grew up in LA, Los Angeles, California. That's probably where this accent comes from. I do reside in Atlanta, Georgia now. So, I'm covering the Southeast, and my territory with the Ritz Carlton Yacht Collection has grown. And I'm, despite the shift in territory or the addition of new states, I am just so pleased that we, Paul, you and I get to work together again. So I'm excited to introduce you and your listeners to this amazing brand.
Now let me just confirm that we're going to work together again. Since we last spoke, I was
Mhm.
in North Carolina. Well, I recently moved, so I'm in Virginia. So am I still considered Southeast?
1000%. I now have the Southeast and the Mid-Atlantic, and I stretch a little bit west towards central US. So I've got a larger territory, but yes, I still have Virginia. So we're square.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Well, Ritz Carlton Yacht Collection just moved a tick up my bucket list,
Amazing.
which we'll talk about offline.
Yeah.
So talk about the path that led you to Ritz Carlton Yacht Collection.
Yeah, it was a very interesting conversation, or how it all actually came to be. I was with a previous line, which you guys can tune into from 2 years ago, but I was approached by a friend, and basically at the end of the day, the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection offered me an opportunity I just couldn't pass up. And I don't know if you recall, and perhaps I may have touched on this on the last on our last conversation. There's a new style of cruising, right? That's coming in the waters. And yes, if you enjoy the traditional cruise experience, you have a dozen plus cruise lines out there. But I believe I mentioned, this new style, and it has, Explora Journeys in it, Four Seasons, Aman, Orient Express, and of course the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection. And I have mentioned that before. And I thought to myself, if I believe in what I say, I need to jump at it. And so when this opportunity came to join this amazing organization, I said, I got to do it now. And that way I can really, really put my money where my mouth is, right? Let's get into this. So yeah, I took a chance. I took that leap of faith, and here I am. And at the end of the day, when the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection was coming out, when they were announcing that they were coming out with a new ship and things like that, I was excited for the industry. I was excited for the brand, and it did take me a couple years to finally get here, but now I can really say I'm here now. So it's been on a career path of mine since the inception of this brand.
Mm-hmm. Now, Ritz-Carlton, you just mentioned Inception, so that hints at the answer to this question. Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection is relatively new, right?
That's correct. Relatively new. Yep.
So tell us about their origin and about them in general.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a great question. With the Ritz-Carlton brand itself, as we all know, Ritz-Carlton to be a hotel property that's, on islands, on land. There's Ritz-Carlton Reserve for those that want that really exclusive experience. The organization realized, hey, there is this niche that's missing in the water oceanscape, if you will. And so when they first launched, I believe it came out in 2020. No, I'm sorry, 2018 or 17, something like that, just before 2020, when they announced that they were coming out with a new ship. And it wasn't until 2023 when they launched Ivrima. Now, all of our vessels, all of our yachts are newly built for the brand. And so Ivrima came out in 2023. Ilma in 2024, and of course, Luminara, our last one, came out just this past August in 2025.
Now, you just sailed one. Which one were you on?
I was just on Ilma, which is yacht number 2, if you will. So and she was beautiful, beautiful ship. Spacious, carrying up to 448 guests. That's an up to number. We don't ever, I don't think we've ever had a ship that was over capacity or at capacity. And yeah, it's a beautiful, gorgeous ship with 2 pools, multiple dining venues, and we can dive into that, the differences between each one next. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't we do that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Contrast the 3. Now, have you been on all 3 yet?
Not yet. I'm
Okay.
making my way through. Now, I just started only a few months ago, so I am working my way through the line. But I have been on Ilma, again, as I mentioned, up to 448 guests. Ivrima, which is the first one, she is also our smallest one, carrying up to 298 guests. And then Luminara, which is our newest one, carrying up to 452 guests. Now, Ivrima, being the first one, was built smaller, very nautical-like, very yacht-like. It has a very nautical theme to it, whereas Ilma and Luminara have a very hotel feel. Those two are very similar in size, and Luminara we just added an extra suite category, 2 more suites, which is why she carries 4 more guests on board. Mm-hmm. But all the suites are beautiful. I mean, they all start with, they all have terraces in their suites, but what I'm going to mention is the interior space. And the interior space ranges well over 200, I want to say like 294 square feet, up to over 1,000 square feet in space. So it just really depends what your clients, what the listeners are interested in. So we have everything in between 200 or let's just say just a little under 300 square feet up to over 1,000. So yeah.
And I trust they're all considered suites.
They are all considered suites. I mean, in that size, yeah, yep, all terraces. They all also include a suite ambassador, which basically behaves like a butler. And then we also have a junior ambassador that comes in and cleans. So your listeners can come in, can expect basically 2 of our ambassadors, one to help service anything you need, whether it's room service or cleaning, laundry, maybe even dining reservations, things like that. And then the other one is there to clean. So we do have 2 ambassadors servicing each suite.
So that's analogous to other lines, I guess. I've heard terms like butler, genie, things like that.
Yeah, very similar.
So do you have this on your smallest category?
We do. This spans across all categories.
Wow, that's unique.
Yeah, it's a little nice feature, right? Sometimes
versus the one luxury cruise I've taken, that's even better than that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. So what else? Say more.
Say more. Oh, yeah. So that is just your suite ambassadors. I mean, every suite has a mini bar that's all included, snacks that's all included. Obviously, our in-suite dining, if you will, and I'll talk about food in a little bit, is incredible. The menu is extensive. We, just like the hotel properties on land, we do have a partnership with Diptyque, which is a beautiful French fragrance house. And so that's the amenity we have on board throughout the entire vessel. Goodness, what else can I talk about? There's just so much there.
You alluded to food. You know I want to hear about that.
Yes. So every every vessel does have a minimum 5+ restaurants, culinary venues, if you will. All of them do have a specialty that's a very gastronomic experience. If you're a foodie and into gastronomy, like Michelin style tasting menus, we have those at a cost. But otherwise, all the other venues are complimentary. So we have different restaurants that will feature, maybe it's a Japanese fusion, Thai sort of cuisine, or Mediterranean or local fare, and even a Latin Peruvian style dining experience too. So it just depends on the ship. But nevertheless, we have all of those available, and they are open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all complimentary.
Do you have something akin to a buffet?
No, we don't. No buffets on board. Yeah.
What about, do you have a main dining room, or all the dining rooms are specialties?
They're not necessarily specialties. They're just culinary venues, if you will. So we do ask that your listeners make their reservations once they get on board, just so that they can secure their space. But that's only realistically if somebody is has a regimented schedule, right? For me, I just like to go with it. Sometimes I have a late lunch, sometimes I have an early lunch, sometimes I'm hungry, and oftentimes not. So it just depends on the situation. And for me, I'm happy to just walk up. If they have a table for me, they'll seat me, right? And you as well. I like to just go with the flow. I know a lot of other travelers are different, and if you want to have something set, I recommend making those reservations so that you have something secure. But otherwise, you can just walk up to see if there's a table or even a bar. Like I like eating at the bar too, so that's something available.
I think you said all of the meals, other than the tasting menus, are included.
Correct.
The mini bar in the room is included. So I guess it follows that drinks out on the ship are included.
That is correct. All of our beverages, coffee, teas, spirits, cocktails, mocktails, sodas, all of that are included. Of course, we do have rare vintages and special, vintage whiskeys and such like that. That is, of course, at cost, but there's a vast variety of different selections. If you're into gin or tequila or whiskey, things like that. So realistically, it is top shelf brands, and yeah, those are all complimentary.
Talk a little bit about entertainment.
Yeah. Oh, great. So let's start with the daytime. Let's start from the morning, right? They do offer entertainment as far as we have morning stretch class and yogas and things like that. There are morning routines that are available throughout the day. There could be mixology classes, floral arrangement classes, watercolor painting, acrylic, things like that, nautical knot tying, educationals, things like that. Of course, depending on where we are, we'll have guest speakers as well. There's music playing all the time. If you're at the pool, there's light music playing in the background. Then when it hits a certain time, then there's live music available as well. At night, there could be a themed party. If we're in the Caribbean, it could be Havana nights. If we're in a certain area of the world, there could be an Un Blanc, which is a white night party. So those things are available. But more importantly, I do want to talk about when we are anchored in certain ports. Of course, this is considering weather and port authority permission, because of course they know what is happening in their port. But if all goes as well, we will deploy the marina. And so that's a really fun feature as well, where guests, it's all complimentary. We have water toys available, and you can kind of play in the water, paddleboard, kayak, sea bobs. You can even golf from the marina to the ocean or to the sea, where we have biodegradable golf balls. And then, of course, if the weather is cooperative, we might even deploy a pickleball court in the bow of the ship. So there are a lot of different activities that are offered throughout the voyage.
Now, describe the marina. Sounds like a logistical accomplishment. I can't quite picture it. So say more about that.
Yes. So on all three vessels, we do have a marina that can be deployed, and realistically, it's a floating platform that it interconnects. It could attach itself to the ship, and it's a sturdy. Think of a fully blown up bounce house where you can kind of walk on it, right? So you're literally walking on water, on what we call an aquabana, and we have a netted area where if you want to just sit in the water, you don't want to be in the water. We have that. We have loungers. We've got water toys. That's all complimentary for all guests. So you can take advantage of that on a beautiful day out if you don't want to, spend your time ashore.
Now, I quickly perused the website. Is this marina? Is there a picture of it on the website? Because it sounds.
There is a photo of it on the website, and I can share some more photos with you as well.
Yeah, sounds fascinating, and for the listeners, I'm pretty sure it's in the photos that I sent to promote this episode. So.
I hope so. Yeah, it's a really, really cool feature. A lot of cruise lines, don't have a marina. Because, it's just what it is. For a ship that's really large, it's hard to control the capacity. But a ship our size, we're able to do that. And again, just in elevating this yacht experience, right? That's what most yachts have. When you go on a 12-person, 24-person yacht, you do have the marina that you can kind of dive into the water with and such. And we're basically replicating the same effect, but just on a slightly larger scale.
So I call you. I am a well-to-do world traveler, and I call you and I say, "Hey, Kathy, I'm big on luxury sailing. Contrast RCYC with the other guys."
Okay. Yeah. Well, the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection, like I said, carries, let's just round to a figure, 450 guests. On a ship size that is about 47,000 tons. I mean, that's a lot of elbow room for your clients, right? For guests to enjoy. I mean, when the ship is, I think that when the ship is about 80% full, and it feels the most lively. The living room, the lobby area, what we call the living room, is just bumping, right? There's music playing, people dancing, the conversations are flowing. It's very lively. It's very comfortable. And again, at the same time, when you're embarking, disembarking, even going ashore and coming back, you have the bit of luxury that you're not waiting in line just to get off the ship. Right. It's not deployed in a sense where it's, okay, you're group one, you're group two. So there's a lot of ease. It's almost like you're at a hotel and you come and go as you please and you dine as you please. And the spa experience is through Ritz-Carlton Spa. We don't hire another, corporation to come in and do the spa, because that's one thing that I loathe is when you're in there, you're getting a really nice massage, and at the end they're pushing a product on you and it just kind of undoes everything, right? So our team on board, our ladies and gentlemen on board, are not there to push products and sell. They want you, our guests, to be very comfortable. So that being said, also I want to preface that part of our all inclusion is also including gratuities. So that's all done. One of the beautiful things about sailing on a luxury product is that you're not constantly signing a bill, even for a glass of soda, right? Whatever the case might be. So there's just an ease to it. So that's what I want to highlight. And also, our fitness center is very large. I mean, I have been in it. I've seen it. It's larger than most lines that I've seen. For the
That's where you spent the majority of your time last week, right?
I walked through. I didn't. I mean, let's face it. I was there on not vacation. I was working, but I was there to enjoy it and experience it myself. But yeah, the gymnasium. I call it a gym. It's a fitness center. It is very large, and then right next door to it is a studio where you can do Pilates and TRX, resistance bands, and then next to that, there's even a spin studio. So what cruise line out there can effectively say we have a spin studio on our ship. So those are some of those things that we're trying to attract the non-cruisers, those that typically are out there experiencing their holidays on land, and finally they're like, you know what, let's give ocean travel a try. And so I hope that the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection is one that they're willing to consider.
So it sounds like you brought over, or Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection brought over from the hotel brand the spa concept, and perhaps the fitness concept. I suspect,
correct, yeah,
probably more than a few of your staff is from the hotels.
It could be. I mean, it all depends. I mean, everyone's on contract, but nevertheless, the training is the same. Everyone, as a Ritz-Carlton employee, we have to go through intensive training on basically the gold standard of training service, right? And we all carry our Credo cards, and we understand that Basically we understand that it's a service aspect, and we want to emulate that. Whether your clients are on land or at sea, that there is a continuity when they are sailing with us, that they're not missing this level of service because they happen to be on the water. So the service on board is exceptional as well.
We'll be right back.
The Joy Vacation by Dream Vacations invites you to join us on a bucket list adventure to Africa. We're going to Kenya and Egypt for 14 days, April 10th through April 24th, 2027. A week in Kenya, including safaris, and a week in Egypt, including the pyramids and a 4-day Nile River cruise. This adventure includes air from the U.S., all transfers, all accommodations, private tours, and many meals. $5,000 to $5,500, depending on air, per person. Double occupancy. Only $250 per person deposit due at booking. The remainder is not due until late 2026. For a detailed itinerary, online brochure, and to book, email me at pthornton, Thornton, pthornton @dreamvacations.com. I forgot to ask you, talk about itineraries.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great one. I can tell you right now, as of today, recording this podcast, we have 2 ships in the Caribbean, and we have Luminara currently in Asia. Luminara will be making her way to Alaska this summer season. So this will be our first time as an organization calling into Alaska, and on a brand new ship, no less. So how incredible is it to be able to experience that? After the Alaska season, she sails back to Asia, and then Luminar will be again back in Alaska in 2027. So that's her future. And then more to come after, because we're about to release more itineraries. Ilma currently is in the Caribbean. She will make way doing her transatlantic journey to the Mediterranean, starting with the Western Med, then Eastern Med. That'll be really, really cool. And Ivrima, currently also in the Caribbean, she will be making her way across the transatlantic ocean and over to the Baltic region. So she'll be in Northern Europe, sailing in and out of Copenhagen, Stockholm, eventually making her way to London before heading up towards Reykjavik. And I do want to highlight something on that journey, on that voyage, if you will. We will be doing a circumnavigation of Iceland for 5 nights.
Wow.
Which is really cool. Most cruise lines have 10 nights plus. To be able to do it in 5 nights is incredible. It kind of gives you a taste, and also gives your clients, the listeners, an opportunity to experience Iceland by land by land and sea, if you will, without sacrificing a lot of time away from home.
Is that called the land of fire and ice?
It is, yes.
I remember that from the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Iceland is beautiful. I mean, but it can be very rugged too, right? And so, I've driven across Iceland before. It's vast, it's long, you don't see much, but when you get to certain areas, it's so cool. So how nice is it to be able to do parts of that by land and then parts of it by water is just incredible. And then also with both Ivrima and Ilma kind of in the Europe area in August, we're going to be in the line of the solar eclipse.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be incredible to see it by sea, in the water as well.
Yeah, I haven't been to Iceland yet. We had a cruise scheduled from Southampton up to Iceland, and I canceled it because, believe it or not, Kathy, the international air from the States to London was more than the cruise.
Oh, wow. I mean,
timing wasn't ideal, so I just canceled it, and I said, I'll wait for the
Please,
prices to
if
stabilize.
you're able to do it, do it. They do have direct flights from JFK. There's, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's direct flights from Charlotte even. So, right into Reykjavik. So, those that have not experienced Iceland, I highly recommend it. I really enjoy it there.
Any future developments in the works at Ritz-Carlton that you can talk about? Ships, itineraries, programs, uh,
You know,
whatever.
yeah. Yeah. When it comes to ships, never say never. As far as I know, this is the first time in the company's history that we have our entire fleet, all three ships, out sailing. Because ever since the first one came out, we were always chasing the next one, the next launch, the next launch. So now we want to stabilize, we want to take a breath before we consider adding on more vessels. Other colleagues have said they've seen renderings or drawings or blueprints for new ships, but I haven't seen it myself, so I can't really talk about it with great detail. But, never say never. So it could be in the future. Nevertheless, when it comes to itineraries, we are about to launch the remainder of 2027 itineraries into 28. And then around end of summer, we'll release the remainder of 28. So there's more to come. We're covering a great majority of the globe already, with ships in various destinations, whether it is Southeast Asia, Japan, Korea, Alaska, even South Pacific. Rima, after her jaunt in the Baltic, she was making her way around and going to Tahiti. So there's going to be that opportunity as well. Caribbean, of course, and then, of course, Eastern and Western Med. Last year, we made our way around Cape Horn in South Africa. And eventually, I hope that we will be coming back to it because that would be a great way to experience that part of the globe as well as Mauritius. But that's all to come. Like, I know that I'm talking quickly and vastly, but there's just so much. And we're only releasing itineraries, of about a year and a half out at a time. And as we continue to go into the year, there's going to be more releases to come. Yeah.
Well, listeners, I know that this all sounds beautiful and wonderful. If you want to see, put some photos to the wonderful things that Kathy's talking about. I have plenty at the Joy of Cruising podcast Facebook group, or check out the Joy of Cruising podcast on Instagram. You'll see lots of great photos and videos related to Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection. Kathy, I'm shift gears a little bit. I always try to provide listeners of the Joy of Cruising podcast guest cruising background. When and what ship was their first cruise? Because we have a lot of aspiring cruisers listening, and I try to give them a sense of what to expect. So, what was your first cruise, Kathy?
Gosh, I don't remember the year. I know that I was in the single digit in age. And I was, my family and we went on a Royal Caribbean voyage. And it was a 3 or 4 nighter, to Catalina, and all that out of LA. So that was our first cruise. Little did I know that just continued to grow, because as kids, my parents took us on vacation every year. And some parts we drove, some parts we motorcoached, some parts we flew, just to experience the world. And time and time again, I think it was quick that we learned we loved cruising. It was just easy, it was easy. Cruising is easy. Most people think of it as the Love Boat or your mother's, cruising experience like Titanic and all that stuff. But it's not like that at all. If you can find the right line for your style of experience, I think most people will cruise a lot more often. And I hope to help them with that through this podcast. But that being said, that was the start. And for a few years after that, we were cruising in and out of LA. Eventually just kind of grew from LA to the Caribbean, and little did I know I would just be in this industry, years later when I, uh, grew up and made adult money. But nevertheless, yeah, now I'm able to kind of reciprocate and kind of take my parents with me on my adventures now.
Well, I know they're excited about you moving to RCYC. Uh, uh, do you have anything booked? Do you know what your next cruise is?
My next voyage. Now, let's. I have not been back a week, but I'm already planning my next voyage. It will be on Ilma in
Oh,
Alaska,
wow.
end of June. So I will be on board to experience that, to see Alaska through adult eyes. Because again, going back, I've done Alaska as a teen, as a young teen with my family, and that was a memorable experience because Alaska is so incredibly beautiful. But I'm excited to see it through adult eyes and see how much has changed or not changed. I'm actually really curious about it.
Yeah, you're in for a treat. I've only been to Alaska once
Mm,
but I went as an adult, and I recently did a jury cruising podcast. I don't know, recently, maybe 8 months ago, several months ago, did our top 10 cruises of all time.
mm.
And I can say that Alaska was number two. So,
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Now I know.
although it had help because the Alaska cruise we went on, it was Hawaii and Alaska. So pretty
Oh my gosh.
pretty hard to beat that.
No, that's wild. You have, literal fire and ice.
Yep. Yeah. In fact, it was called the Fire and Ice
That
Cruise.
is
That was
funny.
the name of it. You've done a lot of traveling, cruising
Mhm.
and land travel. What's on your cruise and travel bucket list?
This might sound very common, but I have not been to Japan or South Korea. And so hopefully I'll be able to tick those off my list soon. Also, South Africa is another one that I want to go on, whether it's on safari or by a yacht. Who knows? Maybe in the future. So that those are the top three destinations that I want to experience that I have not experienced yet. But some of my favorite ports or favorite destinations would be Lisbon, beautiful country, amazing food, incredible wine. And I'm a lover of tin fish, so Lisbon is a great little port to visit. So I'll be there later this year just to go and restock my pantry with tin fish.
Okay. Now I probably should know this, but I will go ahead and show my ignorance.
Mhm.
What on earth is
Think
tinfish?
sardines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I love sardines.
exactly. But
I love anchovies. I love
yeah,
that kind of stuff. So I probably would go crazy
you
with
would go
tinfish.
crazy there. I mean, not just your typical sardine. There's mackerel, there's salmon, there's all sorts of various things. Octopus, squid, mussels. I mean, it's incredible, and they have massive production there. And so, yeah, you'd love it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I hadn't heard the term tinfish.
Yeah, it just kind of encapsulates it. Most people hear sardines and they're like, "Oh no," but my God, it's so good for you. It's
Yeah.
so healthy and it's delicious and it's even better than tuna. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, sardines is pretty much the fish we
Mm.
had. Although my mom would get something called porgies. I don't know if you ever
I've
heard of
never,
that.
no.
Well, before we let you go, I know that you are really busy, and I am so appreciative of you carving out the time to make it back to the Joy Cruising podcast. But before we let you go, just like last
Hmm.
time, some fun or light cruise questions. Although these are different because you're a two time a second timer, and so we have a different set of questions. The questions we have for the second time, first of all, let me just say special welcome to Kathy's fans and friends who are listening in. We hope you have enjoyed what you have heard at the Joy of Cruising podcast, and we'll come back to listen to other episodes. I mean, we have just an unbelievably diverse collection of guests from CEOs, captains, entertainers, comedians. I mean, you name it, and we've chatted with them. So we hope you come back, Kathy, so that your friends and my listeners can get to know you better. Let me ask a few questions I ask repeat
Yeah.
guests. Tell our listeners and your friends, how do you spend your me time?
Oh my gosh. Well, first, can I just say thank you for inviting me back? As a second timer, I want to reference SNL, and hopefully by the fifth time, I'll get a jacket. A five-timers jacket. I'm working my way through. No,
well, that's something for me to work on, because I have think I have one four-timer, and I suspect they'll be back. So I got to figure out what to do for the fifth time.
Okay, I'm on a chase now.
I can't afford an SNL type jacket, but
a little badge of honor would be great. No, now that I know, folks, I'll be back next week. No, I'm teasing. No, how I like to decompress when I'm home. It's funny. When you work and travel, as much as I want to travel, I do, obviously. I enjoy it, and I have places I still need to go and see. Sometimes people ask me, and all I want to do is just be at home, right? Tend to my plants. I don't have any pets, but I do have plants. So I feel like getting my hands dirty in the dirt, it just makes me feel alive again. So spring is coming soon, and I'll be able to kind of repot some plants.
Spring? What's that?
Oh gosh. I know. Who knows? At this point, it might be in June, right?
Yeah, yeah. My mom is in New York, Long Island, New York, and I talk to her every day, and every time I've called her the last 4 or 5 times, it's snowing.
That's so funny.
And they already have 20 some odd inches on the ground. Who's talking about spring?
I know. Well, once it melts, once the sun comes out and summer solstice and all that stuff, maybe then. But no, I do enjoy planting. I do enjoy being at home. And funny, I just mentioned summer solstice. I am a big astrology nerd. So this whole solar eclipse is an incredible feature. Unfortunately, I won't be able to partake this year, but maybe next year if timing works out. But what an incredible way. And let's touch base back on this Reykjavik voyage, right? Like, to be able to see that, and then with the solar flares being so intense this year from the sun, the likelihood of seeing northern lights is also going to be grand. It's going to be very likely. So that's a great way. And I do enjoy those things. I'm a nerd.
What are you listening to right now in terms of music, podcasts, or audiobooks?
Funny enough, I think at this point, Spotify is paying me to listen because I have them on all the time. Right now I am listening to a Brazilian artist, called Marie Forres, Fores, I believe that's how you spell it. She's great. Great artist, and so I'm enjoying her
Melissa
music.
Forrest?
Marie, I'm Ari.
Marie Forrest, okay.
Forest or something. It all sounds like forest, but no T. So Fores, I think that's how you spell it. Great music there. So I don't know. All of a sudden I'm on this Brazilian music kick, and that's what I am listening to right now.
Is it kind of folk or?
No, it's a little bit
soul
more,
or R&B or?
Yeah, think of it as a new age of bossa nova, if that makes sense. It's just really, it makes me happy, and it's she's got a great voice as well.
Right. I love getting turned on to. I'm a big music fan, and I love getting turned on to a new artist. I had someone on recently, and they said a name, and like this name, I wasn't familiar with it. I can't remember her first name, but her last name is Dean. And then
Oh, Olivia Dean. Yeah, that was my hit back a couple years ago. Now she's off the
yeah,
charts.
she got a Grammy.
She got a Grammy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So
I am proud to say that I was listening to her even well before that, before she became big. So yeah, Olivia Dean is incredible, and her last album is fantastic. And yeah, I've had her on my top list for the longest time. And yeah, right now my newest obsession is Marie. And I actually just Googled how to spell her name. It's Mari, Mari, and her last name, her surname is Froes, Flores or something like that. I think she's fantastic. So
all right,
I hope you
I will
enjoy her.
check it out. What is the last live performance you experienced?
Wow. I can tell you what my next one is.
Do tell.
I'm going to see Raye, Raye, here in Atlanta at the end of April. She's going to be in town.
Raye.
Yeah, Raye. She's a British singer songwriter.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you're in Atlanta. You get all of the good stuff.
Well, Atlanta gets all the good stuff. Am I in Atlanta? Is the bigger question.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we you know, I was as you know, I was in Charlotte, and we got pretty much all the good stuff. And so now in Virginia, I'm in the country. I mean, you can't. There is nothing you can walk to. However, we are south of Richmond, so Richmond gets all the good stuff. So you know, actually, this weekend is my wife's birthday, and we're going to see in Richmond our favorite comedian, and he's the kind of guy who wouldn't come to a little hick town. So it's nice to have access.
Yeah, that's great.
Where we live, even though we kind of live in the country. Okay. How about television and movies? Anything to turn my listeners on to?
Oh my gosh.
And your fans and friends.
Okay, let's see. You know, I don't really have much time to watch television. And funny enough, when I'm on a plane, I'm not watching this in-screen TV. Or I'm usually just listening to music. There is a new Netflix show. I think everyone probably has seen it already. Oh my gosh, what is it called? 1 second, I have to look it up real quick.
Turn me on, because I pay for Netflix every month, but I don't get my money's worth. You know, I don't want to cancel it, because when my granddaughter comes here, she's looking for Netflix, and I can't cancel it, but I don't really use it. I did watch. Did you watch the one where the woman disappeared on the cruise ship?
No, I haven't. Which one is that one?
What is the name? What happened to? Now I'm having a brain freeze, because I always mention it. Tracy, I got it. I'll email it to you, because I'm drawing a blank. But most cruisers have watched this, but it was kind of predictable. Netflix, I think, had a point of view.
Okay.
You know, it's about a woman who disappears. It's a true story about a woman who disappears on a cruise ship, and they portray maybe two sides. One is she fell overboard, but many people believe she was taken off the ship, and she's alive and has been caught up in trafficking. I don't believe that, but I think Netflix wanted to create some suspense.
Interesting.
It's not great, but I think as anybody who cruises should probably watch it.
Okay, yeah, that's a great one.
I would probably get into it.
Well, the show that I last watched is a feel-good romantic rom-com. It's called People We Meet on Vacation. So the theme is kind of on par, but the style is different between what you just described and what this show is about. But People We Meet on Vacation was the last movie I saw on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remembered the woman's name, Amy Bradley.
Okay.
So I
All right.
think it's something like What Happened to Amy Bradley.
Interesting. All right. Very good.
Yeah. And then there's another one which I have on my to watch list, and it actually is more what's the right word, apropos to Ritz Carlton, because it's about a yacht.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I don't remember the title, but it's something about the person in cabin 10
Okay.
but it takes place on a yacht, and that is on my to-do list.
Oh, that's fun.
Question about getting to know you. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Pitch Perfect. No, Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids.
I
Yeah.
love Bridesmaids. One of the few movies I can't watch movies more. Well, I should say I can't. I don't watch movies more than once.
Mm-hmm.
That's one I can watch again.
Yeah.
And again.
And again. It's hilarious. It's so well written too. But yeah, Bridesmaids is definitely one. A guilty pleasure is Pitch Perfect. But yeah, I wish I do enjoy movies. Don't get me wrong. I just can't sit still long enough to watch a whole movie. That's my problem.
Well, thank you, Kathy, for coming back on the Joy of Cruising podcast. And all the best to you.
Thank you.
As I like to say, I'll see you on the ocean.
Yes, and
But let me add a parenthetical. I'll see you on the ocean, preferably on RCYC.
Let's make that happen. No, thank you so much for having me back on. I look forward to our next conversation, and hopefully, I know that this first or the second appearance, we're talking about the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection in a very high level. But I would love an opportunity to talk a little bit more in depthly about the various aspects of the vessels. So, yeah, thank you again.
You've expressed the willingness. You will be back.
All right, wonderful. Thank you all for tuning in.
All right, thank you. Take care now.
Thanks.
The Joy of Cruising and Cruising Interrupted, each $16.99 plus shipping, and new release, The Joy of Cruising Again for $18.99 can be ordered at the link on thejoyofcruisingpodcast.com. For each of the 3 books, use the discount code Joy of Cruising Podcast and get $4 off. The Joy of Cruising books are also available at Amazon. Order the ebook at Amazon or your favorite online retailer. Stay in touch by joining the Joy of Cruising Podcast Facebook group or following the Joy of Cruising Podcast on Instagram. We're constantly adding new shows. Please leave a review and tell a friend about us. We hope you enjoyed this brief escape to the ocean. See you next week.